Hi everyone, let's quickly run through what's new in Zoom Player version 21.5. So let's begin. There's 18 new functions you can add to the control overlay buttons. The fixed buttons here, the top, the bottom, the left, 18 new functions. And now you can use color controls when using the MPC video render, MPC VR, which is a high-end video render that's probably the best for Windows 11. And next, I've added the new JSON post-processing cache mechanism to the IPTV player window, which means that it can open faster when closing and opening Zoom Player between a database update, which is usually once per day. I've also visually enhanced the IPTV window and the APG grid with a few gradients that you can, of course, customize. I've added support for a new IPTV stream grouping based on a new tag. In the MP3, M3U, not MP3, M3U, M3U8 playlist formats, and added support for 2 more types of archive playback catch-up, which means playing back a video that has already been aired a few hours to days back. New settings that automatically hides the mouse cursor when Zoom Player window is maximized. This is enabled by default. A new setting to pick the opacity and the timeline highlighting color for the A/B repeat features or similar features that require timeline highlight. And next, the Zoom Player API X interface extend function can now be used to show and hide some of the newer interfaces introduced in recent versions of Zoom Player. Zoom Player error dialog is now based on an overlay style and not the skin, so it's more consistent and looks better with a little bit of transparency. Same thing for the please wait window that pops up when certain actions take longer time. And there's now for the home theater full screen navigation interfaces, there's a new tab functionality, which is assigned by default to the tab key, and based on which home theater interface you're using, it has different actions, mostly to access the function menu. And if you're using custom keyboard layout, you can just add this line into your keyboard layout file, and Zoom Player will add that functionality for you. I changed the media library's metadata editor to show the last play date for content within TV and movie category folders, and I'm now showing how many years and days have passed since the last viewing. I've added a switch to modern UI or switch to classical UI to the right-click menu. You can see that here under controls, both settings here. I've extended Zoom Player TCP/IP-based API with a few new control messages, information messages that allow you to know more about Zoom Player's current skin state. I've implemented the visual aspect of A/B repeat features, so now it's showing on the timeline in using modern UI. The refresh button on the IPTV player window now has a dual function. If it has a blue frame, that means that new data has been downloaded from the server and is ready for update. And when there's no blue frame, if you press the button, it tells Zoom Player to download the database right now, in case you want to do a live update. Okay, next. Plex, Ambient, Jellyfin media servers can support more than one media for the same title. For example, if you have a movie, you can have 2 versions, one maybe 4K, one maybe lower resolution, and Zoom Player did not support these previously, so now they are added to the playlist, both items, so you can use the next track feature to switch between the different versions of the same media. I've enhanced, these are some user experience enhancements to make the media server browser window a bit more intuitive when going in and out of folders. And the same here, if you open the chapter editor or the go-to dialog using the G keyboard shortcut, it now opens in the go-to field, allowing you to switch to a different time quicker. Another user experience enhancement is now when you drag the color bars on the color control overlay, you can see the actual value in real time. If you switch between modern classic interface modes, it now tries to remember the skin for the classic mode and doesn't just reset it to the default skin. The function picker dialog is now easier to use. Previously it had a search feature, but using filtering is much more intuitive. So now I've changed it to a filtering method, making it easier to find Zoom Player functions. For example, when you want to assign keyboard keys or custom mouse actions, whatever, etc. This is just to prevent issues. So now if you have the please wait window, you can just show the control overlay while it's visible, because you're supposed to wait and not do any actions. Okay, some fixes. I fixed an issue which caused the playlist editor on the pop-up window to pop to the front of other application when a new media was loaded. That was a little bit annoying. When using a custom font that is incompatible with Zoom Player's user interface, it simply did not show at all. And with this fix, there's now a fallback to a different. This actually came up when someone tried to use a vertical font used for either Chinese or Japanese text, and Zoom Player was not compatible with that, because all text in Zoom Player is horizontal. Okay, there were some cases when trying to add a YouTube channel, it added the wrong YouTube channel. This was fixed. I improved Zoom Player's trial version that now it only counts the actual playtime and doesn't count any minute that you use configuring Zoom Player to that time, allowing you to have a proper trial period. And yeah, when Zoom Player trial period was over, it was supposed to notify you and then close itself, but it didn't close itself properly. It's sort of froze, but you could use escape key to close it. But in any case, that was fixed. Yeah, you weren't able to add a YouTube channel in the media library if it had some suffix data which wasn't an actually requirement to get a channel name, but now this data is just ignored and the channel is added correctly. There was some issue customizing the keyboard, some of the keyboard functions like the arrow keys and the space keys, you just couldn't customize them. This was fixed. And if you switch to audio mode while using the MedVR video render, it did not hide the video, which didn't look very nice. When loading a new video, there was a slight lag when updating the timeline, which I fixed. When you tried adding favorites from the media server like Plex or MB, and then try to replay it, it just didn't work. And now it's fixed, but you have to re-add items to the favorites if you want them to work. Trying to play a media from MB, yeah, okay, so I've talked about support for the multiple versions, but also it just didn't work at all when you try to play such content. So there's both a fix for letting it play and a new feature for adding them to the playlist, the additional entries. Trying to show the web browser interface, which is used when associating specific specific media files with a web page for display purposes. That was completely broken. The advanced option dialog customization page, yeah, accidentally it was listed as playlist instead of customize. Resetting the control overlay did not reset the opacity level for the timeline chapter. It was actually 40% instead of 50%. There were some cases where the arrow dialog could appear behind other Zoom Player windows, which wasn't very nice. And finally, I fixed a glitch where you position Zoom Player's window in between two monitors, and then the Action OSD, for example, where it showed the volume level, it appeared in the wrong position on screen and even flickered a bit. So that's fixed now, and that's everything that's new in Zoom Player version 21.5.